The Marine Toys for Tots foster care program is bringing hope to children who need it most. Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care, often with only a small bag of belongings. More than 400,000 children face trauma and uncertainty, many before age 8. This May, during Foster Care Awareness Month, Toys for Tots is creating Room for Joy. In 2025, nearly 375,000 children received comfort through toys, books, and essentials, reminding them they are not alone. Donate now and change a child's life.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, here we are. I had to, it just hit me really hard that those drag queens are still showing up in the schools yesterday. It just, I don't know what the hell. It's like, wait a second. There's a crime happening every day in New York City and in schools across the country where these freaks show up and hang around with kids and read books to them. And it's obviously grooming. It's obviously somebody getting their rocks off. Somebody, what else? It wants these kids to be a certain way sexually. I see babies at these things. Babies. Little babies. And that's horrific. It is horrific. It's not like this is still happening and it's taxpayer money. You want to be a man and dress up like a woman and you're 18 and you want to hang out with other adults? Great. No problem. No questions asked. Any questions I do ask will be out of curiosity. I don't, no judgment. You be you. But the moment you want to hang around with children, that becomes a crime. Okay, now we looked at it. We looked at it very carefully. There are all kinds of literacy programs all over the place. They got literacy programs in jail, right? For the prisoners who don't read or don't read well. There are literacy programs. Actually, they just need people to read to them. They know how to read, but their eyes aren't so great and they don't know Braille. Older people, go read a book to older people. English is a second language. They need that kind of training. Why do the drag queens only show up around little kids? Right? That's the tell. It's all about grooming and it's all about proximity to children and somebody is getting sexual gratification out of that and it's got to stop. Now look at this freak show. And I'm sorry, man, you are a freak. You can't do this around the children. And this is happening right now. Cities from Phoenix to San Francisco to Atlanta to right here in New York City, public money being spent to have these freak shows corrupt children. Cut two, please. Cut two.
I'm a man dressed up as a woman, and I'm here to read stories to children, teach them what diversity is all about.
It's okay to have no hair.
I'm Angel Electra. I am doing Drag Queen Story Hour for the New York Public Library. I was raised Christian. I've always felt that I was gay. When I was growing up, I had to keep my sexuality a secret. So it was kind of hard for me to identify who I was as a child because I was living both lives. Now, I'm just a queen. I read a book earlier. It was called Everyone is Different. This type of activity opens a child's eyes to what being different all about. It has to start somewhere.
Well, all the kids are there. Kids as young infants are there. Children. This extra X-ray, whatever his name. It's just like, hello, we got to call the cops. I called the cops yesterday. I called the cops because, hey, the director of the FBI told me if I see something, say something. Let's see here. Cut 3, Kash Patel, FBI director.
If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all.
Okay. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, he was talking about the attempted assassination on President Trump a couple of weeks ago. But I figured out, I looked it up, and they say call FBI about it, pretty much anything. You suspect a crime, you can call that. I remember they kept pushing that number during the Nancy Guthrie stuff. So here I know that a crime is taking place across the country. I know it's just not the kind of thing because I didn't know specifically if there was a drag time story hour happening right when I made the call. So I didn't call 911, but I did call the FBI. And this, I think they have that call FBI thing. It's a gimmick. It's like, hey, look at us. We have an 800 number. Give us a call. They don't mean it. And the government doesn't want to do any work. The whole thing was trying to like push me on, move me along. Go to our website. Cut 4, please. Cut 4.
Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI. To continue this call in English, press 1. For Spanish, press 2. For any other language, press 3. This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For emergencies, please call 911.
Okay, fair enough. Not an emergency. So I hold on and I try to, make my complaint understood and known. And boy, oh boy, it lasted 20 minutes. 20 minutes I'm on the phone with this automated thing. Cut 5.
To help us process your call most efficiently, please tell us in a few words what federal violation or national security issue you are calling about.
So they are grooming children in New York City. Clearly, drag time story hour for children
Please listen closely as our menu options have recently changed. To report a tip on an FBI case currently highlighted in the news, press 1.
You see what I mean? It's like I wasn't even there. And then I said, can I talk to an agent? And that doesn't even hear it. It just totally stunk. I bet they spent $500 million on this call thing. And the website stinks too. I went to the website. You can't figure that dumb thing out. So I had to give up. I tried. Cut 6, please. Cut 6.
The state abbreviation is YEAH space NEW space YORK. If this is correct, say yes. If this is incorrect, say no.
I don't know what you just said.
Please say your state or two-letter state abbreviation.
NY.
If you would like to decline and move on, please press 0. If you would like to decline and move on, please press 0. Please spell your city now.
Goodbye, FBI. Thanks anyway.
See what I mean? It was like calling Spirit Airlines, except Spirit Airlines had better customer service. So this is going on, and it's a crime, and it's happening all over the place. The first guy who put this on my head, by the way, a really cool dude named Seth Barron, he wrote a book about all the weaponization that's gone on by the left, how they've corrupted all of our institutions. And it just came up in the book. I never thought of it that way. I knew it was gross. I knew it was disgusting that these drag queens wanted to hang out with children, but that, for literacy purposes, well, why aren't they going to the old people home? Why aren't they going to the prisons? Why aren't they going to the English as a second language school? Because they don't have children there. Okay? They want young little babies and infants. Somebody called me once and said that whole line about, well, I've been gay ever since I remember, right? But what about the part where you don't remember? Maybe that's where something happens. I do believe that you're born gay, but this guy who called, it made me think about that. Well, maybe something happens after birth before you start to remember. And is it exposure to something? Is it, who knows? Is it environmental? Does something else happen? I'd like to know. I think that's reasonable. What else do we have going on here? Real quick. This is what the next mayor of Los Angeles used to sound like when he was on reality TV. His name is Spencer Pratt. Cut 7, please. Cut 7.
Because what I wanted to do and say to you, dear, I didn't, because I was praying like I do every day.
I don't think the crystals are working, man, because you're hyperventilating over here, your red face.
I know they're not working. That's why there's hundreds on me right now.
Maybe take them all off and look in the mirror. You're crazy. You lost it.
And he was looking right at Spencer Pratt when he said, you're crazy. You lost it. Back then, he had lost it. Total nut job. Spencer Pratt, reality TV star. I vaguely was aware of him. Vaguely. I'm not into the reality TV at all, to be honest. I wasn't even into the Apprentice with President Trump. I just didn't find that show. I don't know. I didn't think it was totally realistic. You know what I mean? Sometimes I thought it was, but I should have watched it. Anyway, listen to this. This is the guy now. And I don't care if he didn't go to the right school. I don't care if he isn't an accountant. He's got the passion. He's got the, the fire in the belly. And here he goes. Cut 11, please. Spencer Pratt, hopefully the next mayor of Los Angeles, California.
How does your professional experience qualify you to make sure and to oversee a budget the size of LA's $14 billion budget? We know you're passionate about what you're doing. We know you're an entrepreneur, but this is a $14 billion budget. What kind of experience do you bring to the table for that?
Well, thankfully I have common sense and I'm humble. I have humility. I'm going to surround myself with the smartest people in the world because I actually don't have to balance the budget. The mayor doesn't balance the budget. She has a CAO. She has a team, and we're not going to say she has the best team, but she has a team, and they balance the budget. My job is to be, as crazy as this will sound, I'm the adult in the room here at Spencer Pratt, and that's what it's come to. And so I plan on putting people that actually want to make sure all of our money, like Councilwoman Rahman was saying, is accounted for.
She's so good. You just never know. I used to wonder about this. Sometimes I'd be on the train or just, around other people where everybody's quiet, and I'd look on the train and I'd see guys. And I said, somebody on this train, if they had chosen differently, would be a great fighter pilot. There are certain, every now and then you met somebody, in the military who was not only a fighter pilot, but just great, just a master at it. And you never know who that person is. There was never really an outward indication. They didn't necessarily look a certain way. They didn't act a certain way. And it's like you got the same, let's say you're on the Long Island Railroad. Somebody on that car could be a great leader, a politician. I don't think you would necessarily think that of Spencer Pratt initially, but look at him now. And the man's fired up. His home burned to the ground, destroyed. The thing the government is supposed to be there for, not nitwit drag time story hour for children, but making sure there's enough water in the reservoirs to put out fires. All right. Now there's one other, Karen Bass is on this thing, right? Karen Bass. Anybody remember when she got off the plane? She got off the plane and she's just standing there with no expression on her face. You won't be able to see it, but you hear the reporter. The microphone is right up to her, and she can't say a word. Los Angeles is burned to the ground, and she was in Africa. Cut 8, please. Cut 8.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them?
Just standing there.
Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Ghana, Africa. That's where all kinds of failed mayors like to spend their time. Remember when Eric Adams went over there? Eric Adams went to Ghana, Africa. He's about to be the mayor of the coolest city in the world, and he's hanging around in Ghana, Africa. Speaking of coolest city in the world, not so much anymore. I want the commissioner of the police department to understand something, okay? I know she's brimming with ambition, and she's taking credit for things that don't belong to her, and she's totally in over her head, has no clue. No one's really running that police department right now. It's in shambles. My heart breaks for the men and women of the NYPD. There's no leadership there. But we do have a very ambitious person at the top who doesn't treat people well. And I have to say, you're not going to, the way to be somebody important, right? Because that's what she wants to be. A governor or a mayor or a senator, right? Can't be a congressman now. That's too small for her. You're not going to be able to do that because your record will be one of working for 3 consecutive bad mayors as commissioner. 3 in a row. Bloomberg never made her a commissioner, but de Blasio did. And then Adams did, and then Mamdani did. And what will you have to show for yourself? Vote for me because I was a commissioner under all these bad mayors? These were bad mayors. You're part of the administration. You're a bad commissioner. It's unbelievable to me. It really does. I remember that building, going into police headquarters when I was in first grade, seeing my dad get promoted to lieutenant. I was so proud. And going back to seeing him get promoted to captain and deputy inspector and inspector and assistant chief and deputy chief and on and on and on and on and on. And to see the mess, right? It's a mess. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. There was one other, I want to go back to LA for a second. He really put this woman in her place. Not Karen Bass, but Nithya Raman, who also, I can tell there's something about her. She thinks, well, it's my time. I'm poised. I'm attractive. She's very attractive. And it's my turn to be the mayor because I went to the right schools and, you know, I'm a council person. So now it's time for my promotion. Wrong. Cut 10, please. Cut 10.
You're going to watch today as Mayor Bass and Spencer Pratt attack me because they want to run against each other in the general election. Each of them thinks that running against each other is what's going to help them win. And they don't want to run against me because my ideas, which are based on real results in my district, which are based on real data, a real analysis of the system, and a focus on accountability and using every dollar as effectively as possible, which we have done in my district. I want to take this citywide. This is why this is happening today.
If I wanted to run against anybody, it would be the council member who is terrible. Mayor Bass has at least been a mayor for almost 4 years and has, as she talked about earlier, all the unions endorsed Mayor Bass. You think it's easier to run against the incumbent mayor with all the unions or a random city council member who's been a failure for 6 years? I would much rather run against Councilwoman Raman. Thank you very much.
He's got it. He's got it. He's good. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are in town. Welcome. They're fantastic. President Trump is moments away from speaking after we took out some targets in Iran. That's interesting. The UFOs aren't from another planet or another star. Remember that. They're from a factory somewhere, okay? Don't go making a big deal about it. We'll be right back.
Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.